Hi, I'm Patty. I am an ADHD coach, and my passion is finding ways to make things more ADHD friendly. So we're tilting the playing field and thriving more with our ADHD brains. If you would like more support beyond what I can offer in this wonderful podcast environment, come over and join my ADHD friendly membership. Check it out, ADHD-Friendly.com, because ADHD friendly is where ADDers get more things done. This week, I am going to celebrate some socks. I got some cool socks to share. It's a knitting celebration. I'm also going to update my spending. And I have a tip, how to make choosing between two big choices a little bit easier.
Ooh.
And then we're going to dive into our main topic, which is how to do a Sunday reset. I love a Sunday reset. I've talked about different ways to reentry plans, how to get re-engaged. This is a quick, just exploring how to set up your Sunday to make it a little bit easier to transition back into the school week, the work week, whatever you have going on.
Right.
And then, as always, I'll highlight my book of the week. I've been doing a lot of reading, Becca. All right, here's my celebration. I think I shared this with you. Did I show you my Scrappy socks?
No, those are so cool.
So I am sending these to my son, who I'm not worried about finding out about them because he doesn't check out my podcast.
He loves socks.
But he loves socks. So these are my first Scrappy socks. And Scrappy socks, by definition, are made from scraps of yarn from lots of other socks I've made. And I just kind of, the colors, I'm so happy with how they turned out.
They look so good.
Only the toe and the heel and the cuff are the same color. And then I just switched. What I didn't love about this was there were so many ends to weave in, because every time I switched colors, I had more yarn that I had to weave in when I was done. But oh my gosh, I'm so happy with the color they turned out. I blocked them, so now they're perfectly ready to go. My husband's going to mail them.
Are
they
going to be big enough?
Well, I don't know. I did block them, but they fit me. They fit me, and then I blocked them and stretched them to try to make them a little bit bigger. So Jake,
they look good.
If they don't fit you, you can send them back to mom, because they fit me quite well before I block them. I always have to try them on to make sure they'll go over the heel and everything.
Yeah.
They go on and because once I cast off, because these are toe up socks and you cast off on the cuff last, I have to be so careful because I'm a tight knitter. I literally finish socks and then you can't get them on because I make the cuff too. Everything else fits great, but you can't get the cuff over your heel. So these go on really nicely. They wear really nicely. I think the color is so much fun.
They're so
I'm loving them. All right, we're going to breeze through this one. What I purchased this week, nothing. So I am still on my, even though we're in June or July, I should say, when this comes out, I am still in my no June spending plan, which is going a lot easier in many ways. But and also because it's hot, I don't want to go anywhere. So I just stay off my computer. So I'm not buying anything on the computer, but we'll see how hopefully I'll binge on July 1st and buy a ton of things. Product of the week. So this is something that my husband bought for me that I didn't buy. He gave it to me for our anniversary, which was earlier this month. And because I've gotten so into my birds, he got me this book that was in my wish list on Amazon. And it's 250 bird songs that you can go in and tell it to play.
How cool. And then the book tells you.
It tells you, so that's number 115. Which is, I think it's a cardinal. All right, we can stop. It is, could be wrong, of course, because I didn't mark the page. I apologize, my listener viewer. It is the Northern Cardinal. Ooh. So you just look up the bird number, you play it. And so I've been taking this out before it got so stinking hot, out on the porch with me and listening to birds. And I just loved it. This was a definitely more expensive book. It was $53.99.
Well, because it comes with
it's super heavy too.
It looks heavy.
I don't remember the book I put in my wish list. I don't think I would have put in there. So I think they raised the price from the time when I put it in there. I want to say it was like $30 or $32. I couldn't find the same book. So it must have just gone up in price, but it's a little pricey, but I do love it. So if you are someone that's into birds and would enjoy, these are North American birds in song. All of them are in there. So been able to pick out a lot of the different bird calls that I didn't know
Cool.
what was making that sound, what kind of bird it was, or I could see the bird making the sound, but I didn't know what kind of bird it was. So I could kind of like look at the pictures and identify the bird and then play the sound. So that is this week's product. One other product, if you will,
Yes.
is I just wanted to share, I advertised on Chad in their ADHD tools marketplace. So on Chad, it's chadd.org. The organization supports children and adults with ADHD. I've advertised my ADHD-friendly membership, and if you are a member of Chad, you get 1 week of the membership free trial. So you can use that link. If you are a member of Chad, you can go in there and check it out. But I am super excited to be in their marketplace. That was one of those intentional things I decided to do to help share the message of what we're doing here at ADHD Friendly, because I really do believe it supports people with ADHD to struggle less and thrive more. All right, now for our tip of the week. So this was from Gretchen Rubin's newsletter. She wrote the 4 tendencies. That was one of my favorite things in, I think it was 2023. She has a new book that she's titled The Secrets of Adulthood.
Ooh.
And in that, she shares a tip how to make a choice when you aren't sure how to proceed. And this, she just shared it in the newsletter. I've not read this book yet, but she said, you know, examples like, should I go to school longer, like continue on to my master's degree, or should I, you know, take a gap year? Should I go to get my bachelor's degree, or should I just start working?
Yeah.
Or should I move here, or should I live here longer? Should I try something new? Like some pretty big decisions, or should I stay at home and work from home, or should whatever,
Yeah.
if you're trying to make a bigger decision, not like, do I want chocolate or vanilla ice cream? She says to make the choice that allows you to, and she had 5 examples. She said, make a choice that allows you to live the bigger life. So it's okay, if I'm going to stay here or I'm going to move, which option gives you the bigger life? Or if I'm going to go to work or continue going to school, which one gives you the bigger life? She said, or step into the future. So think about what that future would look like. So you're literally seeing what that would be like for yourself. Which choice would allow you to deepen your relationship? So it could be personal relationships, family relationships. So maybe if you're thinking, do I move or do I stay? And moving would be back home. And that would help you to deepen those relationships. That might be something to consider. Make the choice that allows you to put your values into the world. So if there's something that you value and one of those choices would really tap into that, that's another thing to consider. And then the last one is to make the choice that allows you to live in an atmosphere of growth. So I love this one because sometimes the choice that we want to make is the easier, the more comfortable choice. And I think this encourages really thinking about, would that choice let me grow? Would that choice allow me to have a bigger life?
Yeah.
So she said, when 2 choices seem equal, choose the bigger life can suddenly reveal the clear winner. And that was my favorite one of those. I love the choose the bigger life. So if you're scared, if you're like, I don't know what I really want. If you just ask which choice would allow me to choose a bigger life, it can make it a lot clearer. So that's from Gretchen Rubin. And if that helps you to make a decision, thank Gretchen. But I just like that clarity. I love clarifying kind of prompts that help me to think about things and not get into the disorganization of my brain. Clears the way. All right, now for our main topic today, and that's to create a Sunday reset. So when you think about Sunday going into Monday, like I love new beginnings. Monday is always a new beginning, new year, new month, but planning for me is what keeps new beginnings sparkly. So I love like looking at the year ahead. I love looking at the quarter ahead, the month ahead, but I really like looking at the week ahead. I do that one the most consistently. So if I wake up Monday morning and there's like piles of laundry laying around and the sink is full of dishes, it literally just kind of saps my excitement for the new day and the new week completely. And this is where a Sunday reset can come in. And so this is, again, very individual. It's just a chance for you to think about what would a Sunday reset look like for you? What's ADHD friendly for you? Not expecting yourself to do more than you'd want to or could sustain.
Yeah.
So we want to keep it easy enough that it doesn't create resistance. And the benefit keeps coming back to you week after week. So I'm going to give you some examples. So maybe a Sunday reset is to tidy the kitchen. So me, that is almost always something that I do. I can't come down to a sink full of dishes because I don't let myself do anything else until the kitchen is tidy. So there's like a couple of things that I don't mind wiping off the counter. If the dishwasher's run overnight, I'll empty it, but I don't want to deal with dirty dishes in the morning. So I'll load the dishwasher. I'll just quickly, hit the counters. Maybe you set up the coffee maker. Maybe that's all you need for a Sunday reset. Or maybe you're going to make your lunch for the next day. So when you come down, you already know that that's taken care of and you just get to focus on getting your coffee and your breakfast. Or maybe you empty the trash. I know for us, the trash comes on Monday morning. So Sunday night that goes out. So I'm not hearing the sound of the trash truck come up, oh, trash, and it throws me into that kind of stress response. And now I'm stressed and I've kicked off my Monday morning with that anxiety. Okay, so that's one. Maybe you just focus on the laundry on Sunday. So you have a week's worth of clothes to wear and you're not like, oh, I can wash this in the sink and hang it out and hope it'll be ready. So if laundry would make or break your week, this might be the place to reset. So maybe it's just, pick a load to start with. Maybe you just start by sorting your laundry and be like, okay, I actually need this to wear. So I'm going to start with this load. So maybe you don't even expect yourself to do the laundry, just a load of laundry.
That's less scary.
Right. And then just pair it with something. So the laundry is the hard task that requires so many different start and stop points. So it might be, I'll listen to a 30-minute podcast and then I'll move it from the washer to the dryer, or I'll watch a TV show while I'm folding it, just something to help make that reset work for you. And then notice what you get from it. That's the important thing when you think about sustainability. What does the reset give you when you are beginning a new week? Maybe you want a bathroom reset. So this could be like, if your toothbrush is starting to be worn, nothing is more exciting to me than changing that out and having a sparkly new toothbrush to come into. Or like, if you've got a lot of hair like Becca and I do, your brush gets full of hair. So just pulling all that hair out and having a nice fresh hairbrush to come back to. Or I know, like, for me, if the sink has all this like dried toothpaste in around it, it's just disgusting. So I want it gone. So just wiping out the sink could be something that I do. So maybe you set a timer and just wipe off the counters in the sink, or switch out your toothbrush, or toss any old products or things that you're just like, okay, I can still squeeze out a little bit and it's just taking up space and it's falling over because it's practically empty and you can't get anything out of it. Let it go if it's not serving you and tidy up your space. So the last idea when it comes to the bathroom reset might be just writing a little quote on a Post-it and sticking it on the mirror. That just is like a mantra, something. So I love like, hello, gorgeous, or like, morning sunshine, or something that just, kind of lets you have a little smile, a little inner joy.
Start your day right.
Right. So remember, the Sunday reset is really about setting up your future self for success. So you're doing something on Sunday that your Monday morning self is going to benefit from. So notice if you sleep better because you did something for yourself, because you know that when you're going to bed, it's like, oh, I got that clean toothbrush waiting for me. If you have more energy, if it's easier to get up because you're remembering what you did, it's like, oh, I got that kitchen all tidy, got my coffee set up, or maybe you have a timer on it and it's already brewed and you can smell it. Notice if it just gives you a little boost of energy throughout the day. Then noticing it, what's in it for me, the WIFM, is what keeps the cycle going week to week. So check out episode 194 and post if you have a Sunday reset. We'd love to hear what it is, because we all learn what else we can do from each other. So, or if you try it and you find something interesting about your Sunday reset experiment, we'd love to hear it. Episode 194. All right, now for the book of the week. It is The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters.
Cover.
This came out in October of the last year of 2024. It is by Amanda Peters, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So this was a good one. So the basic premise is, in July of 1962, a family arrives in Maine to pick blueberries for the summer. A few weeks later, 4-year-old Ruthie disappears. Her disappearance will haunt the family and remain unsolved for nearly 50 years.
Oh my gosh.
So it goes back and forth in time, and it's told through Ruthie's eyes and her brother's eyes and the people who took Ruthie's eyes. And it's very interesting, very fast read. I gave it a 4 out of 5 because, and it's truly a summer book because they're picking blueberries in the summertime.
Yeah.
So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, I do recommend this one. I've got one coming up I'm going to share that is a near 5. I just finished over the weekend. I
Ooh.
loved it. And it's a book that hasn't been released yet. So I'm going to wait till a little bit closer to its release date and share it.
Second.
Because I don't want you to be like, oh, great, Patty. So now, like, I know it's coming, but I do want you to have time to request it if you want to get it on your list. So you don't have to wait after it comes out. Okay, now finally for the quote of the week. This is from Gretchen Rubin. And just to remind you, choose the bigger life. That's from her book, Secrets of Adulthood. If that is something that you're interested in, I invite you to check it out. Even though I haven't read it yet, I have read several of her books, and I always say good value, always good value. That's it for this episode 194. As always, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. And if you're looking for more support, come on over, check out ADHD Friendly. We'd love to have you join. Until next time, tally ho.